the readings for July. And yesterday I was getting blinded by my new lighting equipment. Scorpio, we're here to do your July 2024 intuitive tarot readings. I'm MJ. I'm the founder of Ultra Love. I host this channel where we do daily. I offer weekly readings to the Patreon community, like getting a collective read for that collective, and our monthly readings. So we're into July 2024. What is life? I have been creating content online since 2012, and I've been reading tarot for you guys since 2019, and I've been teaching yoga and meditation professionally since 2008. So great to be here. I work online, and there's also merchandise. There's a book I published in 2016, 17. The Fearless Life Guide, which is really my own intuitive interpretation of shadow work and doing inner work and excavating emotional densities to help clear the way for a more compassionate and empathic heart and a more lovingly logical mind. Understand through compassion, or you misunderstand the times. So inner work is a Hollow Shazam kind of vibratory. I call it the karmic backlog because it's not just this generational trauma. It's like multi-generational trauma that we have the potential to heal and clear if we do the inner work. So let's go for Scorpio. I have a midheaven in Scorpio with Jupiter conjunct my midheaven, so I'm all about the depth, my lovers. I love scorpionic energy. It's like those of us that, like, there's just no question. It's like, obviously we're going to penetrate to the depth, okay? As in, like, the real sense of, like, getting to the bottom and working something out. That's the scorpionic energy. You got to go as deep as possible, get to the root, uproot it, and we're good to go. Divine guidance and loving clarity for my Scorpio lovers. Divine guidance and loving clarity. This is for Scorpio for July 2024. Divine guidance and loving clarity for anyone who resonates or stumbles upon this video. You might be receiving a message, Scorpio, and or this is you delivering a message, sending a message. Divine guidance, loving clarity for my Scorpios. What are the messages for Scorpio? Loads of messages coming through here, Scorpio. Finally moving forward, the Judgment card is like having some point of release. I often see this is a positive judgment. This does look like you're getting a, did I say the word release? I think I did. So this is like getting a message, which is like, wow, finally we get to move forward. This could also be information regarding a child in your life. What's the Page of Cups? So this I feel like this energy you're working with, like moving into the month of July, or it's coming in pretty quickly, like receiving a message. It's a positive message, or like, oh my God, thank God, finally I can move forward. Like, for example, getting the answer from the bank that your loan has been approved, or you've been selling a house and the house has been sold. So like positive information, which you've been working on, getting that result, and then moving forward. I mean, if you're in love and in a relationship, you are moving forward with the relationship. If it's you, if you're a single parent and it's you and a child, it's like, woo, yeah, you know, mom or dad got us a new apartment or whatever, and you're moving forward. There's some positive movement for sure. At one point I did see the Lovers energy. For some of you, this will be regarding a love relationship, partnership, etc. It's kind of funny. It's some of you might be feeling a little unlucky in love, actually. So as I was tuning in, I was getting this sense of like, so this is general life overview direction energy. A message coming through, feeling positive, and then feeling guided forward. And yet, when I'm looking at these cards, I'm like, this is very autonomous. This is very singular. This is just you and a client, or you and even just like very generally speaking, you've maybe felt a bit stuck. You've maybe felt a bit stagnant. You've maybe felt a bit directionless. And then suddenly there's a message and that's it. That's the message I've been looking for. And now I can move forward. Everything's looking in towards the central, like, chariot judgment energy. I'm going to get more clarity on that. Only because there's some kind of dicey or just like energy worth kind of looking into. 9 of Cups reverse. Like, why is it reverse? You're not feeling as lucky as you want to feel. Possibly even feeling a little depressed. Because there's opportunities coming in here, Scorpio, that's making me feel like you might not see them, but they're around you. And let's get some clarity. I'm just not sure. You're definitely, and this is warranted. These are major arcana, right? So the judgment and then the chariot moving us forward. These are divinely guided, divinely inspired, finally moving forward. Let's get the show on the road. Yay, hella Shazam. These are messages coming in. They're going to force you to look at this situation for sure. So I want some clarity on this central judgment and chariot energy. Yeah, this is very much an opportunity for some of you. It's a travel opportunity. For some of you, it's like getting a opportunity to go abroad and do a job, or to have a gig, or get involved with a project. And then what's this like in the vortex energy? Pardon me, with the nine of wands and the ace of wands, or nine of cups. Pardon me. And the ace of wands. What's that? A boot. You know, so these clarity cards are actually giving me a sense of like, don't worry, Scorpio, your bad luck is over. If you felt like, fucking heck, pardon my language, you know, give a guy a break or give a girl a break kind of thing. It's like wanting these new beginnings, putting this work in, putting this work on, working really hard, being exhausted, working really hard. Being exhausted and feeling like you're never catching a break. Or like the other way around, or something like you're working, you're grafting, you're putting the work in, you're being steady, you're putting the work in, and no new beginning is coming. If anything, you're still just feeling unlucky. Like, what the actual? How is this not happening? But I'm gonna say it's like you're right at the top, and it's like one more step can tip you over kind of thing. But then there's also the sense of once we get to that pinnacle, or once we get to that thing, that's going to take us to the 10 of wands, which means we're going to have to let it go anyway. I feel like this is also maybe for some of you something that you have probably worked on for a really, really, really long time, that you thought you always wanted, that you thought was a dream come true, and then it fucking lands. Pardon my potty mouth. And then it comes in and you're just not fussed. You're like, wow, I really thought I wanted that thing, and now the opportunity is here, and I want to move, in that direction. I want to move in this direction. So something that was once a dream, or something that you were once working for, something that once felt like that is it. That is my wish fulfillment. That's everything I want. It's like you get it and you're like, oh, wow, Jesus, gee whizzles. Gee whizzicles, I don't even think this is my wish fulfillment anymore. What I thought I wanted, I don't want. I think you've just changed, right? Like, life changes us. It's so wild. There was a phase of life when I was just like traveling all the time and like free spirit. Like, I look back and can see so much freaking delusion and or lack of responsibility, a lack of care, lack of consideration for other people. Like, there's so many things, and yet when we're in the flow, when we're doing what we do, we just are ourselves, and we don't know until we know. And like, life teaches us the lessons we're here to learn, you know. Books are great, other people are great, but it really is the processing of our own personal life. And I think self-reflection goes a long way for like looking at how and why we might have ended up in situations, and then how and why we made certain decisions, and how that worked out, or what, you know, how that turned out for us. And with the Plutonian energy going through it's going to dip back into the last 29th degree of Capricorn for the final time in all of our lives. And so as it's really moving forward into Aquarius, we are all really moving forward into this new paradigm energy of, you know, being able to be self-responsible and autonomous, right? Sovereign. We all belong here. There's a sense of the Aquarian energy being unique and being the self, like being the self in unity with the whole. And that's part of excavating the shadows of the collective and of collective technological assists, or like thingies, and technological, like how we're connecting through our phones, for example. And but then all at once, like dissolving the shadow of the old paradigm, but then also recognizing the shadow of the potential future. So seeing, especially with the corruption being exposed, we're now kind of applying. So where is the corruption potentially corrupting our use of technology, or how, right? So it's like somehow dissolving the top down by simply empowering the grassroots up, or like the people, you know. Little bit of a rant. Let's carry on. So there's the Magician energy, divine guidance, living clarity. What other messages do we have for Scorpio? So is Scorpio also back to the love? If you guys are in a romantic partnership, it might just be that for this for this month, for this phase, it's just not your central focus. For some of you, you might actually end a relationship because the Two of Cups is reversed, and then this Page of Swords is like a message come through and cut it out. Whether it's you, whether it's your partner being, listen, this isn't working for me, I don't want to do this anymore, we cut it out. Two of Cups in partnership fades off into the distance, but there's some kind of opportunity coming through, which is a positive reward. Possibly coming through as something that you forgot about, or something they were like, wow, this is freaking amazing, I never thought this would come off. And yet other opportunities that you've been working on, suddenly you don't want them anymore. Maybe even a loving partnership, you're not even digging on it. Hello, Billish. It's my little kitty coming to play. Oh, Billish, oh, Billish. You saying hello? Billish, you're all wet. You got all wet outside, didn't you? Yeah, so back on the love game, some of you guys are definitely like letting go of a relationship. It's just that clear. Like the Two of Cups reverse, in love but not, right? Like this looked like a good match but not. It's just something's not flowing, or you're getting an opportunity which is taking you away. And that's fine, because the Eight of Cups is here. I'm like, I don't think this thing was ever destined to kind of go the distance. What's that song? I'm going for distance. She's going for speed. I don't remember what that song's coming there. There's like a whole song and he talks throughout it. But I feel like there's actual like music as well. Anyway. You guys, this is like, I think you're probably going to have some big release point, which could almost be potentially destabilizing, or certainly like clarifying, you know, like the aha moments where you're like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, or like, this is just not going to go anywhere, or what I thought I wanted, I don't want anymore. this thing that I've been working for that I thought was all I wanted, now that I have it, I'm good to let it go. Like there's these flips and kind of turnarounds or just changes that you've got the opportunities. It's just a matter of like looking them square in the face and deciding what you want. Yeah, I think this is for some of you, this would just be like stability. So if you've been through the ringer around love and partnership, I feel like this is more about you and your financial stability, or like you and your career, you and your project orientation, feeling guided, feeling autonomous. Something shifting for you, Scorpio, where it's like that focus on the Two of Cups is just not where you want to focus. It's way off in the background. And so again, if you are in a dynamic, it's probably not getting the attention it deserves. So you might end up sending the message, Page of Sword, cut. Sorry, don't have the time for it. Why? There's a part of you that's sad, but there's another part of you, I think, that's so focused like on a business, on growing your finances or stabilizing your finances, like having, you know, a bit of savings that you put into some sort of like investment or whatever. Okie dokie. So the stability and creating opportunity, creative opportunities as well. So any of you that create stuff, I feel like there's a bit of momentum here, and you're going to be generating more opportunities, which will also offer like, ooh, never didn't see that. Oh, look at that opening up. I could go here or there, right? These are, I would say, these are just these are projects that you have been working on, as in long-standing projects, or just creative talent, or a business, like being an entrepreneur and putting a lot into a business. And with that being said, remember that it's a comparison that would inhibit you, or a lack of trust. So it's like trusting yourself. Also, you guys, again, I do get, not everybody, but for some of you, I think you're definitely distancing yourself from a love partnership or some sort of loving, love dynamic, and like focusing on friendships and focusing on business. Which I just think with these cards, it just feels really appropriate. So even if you're not having a breakup, you're having distance. It's like the classic, like, listen, darling, I've got to focus on work right now. I just have this project that needs finishing. I'm not going to have as much time for us. So there's a distance, right? There's like a bit of separation. We're not in this like lovey-dovey romantic space. We're like, I got to get shit done. I got to create opportunities. So I'm not going to focus on that. And that's fair enough, because it's still here. So for a lot of you, it might just be that, like taking the distance, having the space, because you need to focus on other things. But, you know, that other person is still in your reading. That other person is still off on the sidelines supporting you in your endeavor, right? So that when you're ready to start investing back in the relationship, you'll have the security and stability that you're after to put into that relationship, or attract in a new one if you've broken up and let go of something. Which, because it's reverse, I'm thinking I get it, because it looks like it's not necessarily flourishing in that direction anyway, because it is reverse. So that could be like, I'm just not focusing on it, like I don't have the attention for it, or it's not really working anyway, right? It's take what resonates, leave the rest, my lovers. It's like be discerning. I think all of us can totally like be ninja discerning Jedi mind of what are we engaging with, like what information are we taking, as in, you know, just taking on info from strangers on the internet, and that makes us feel horrible or doesn't resonate with us and makes us think we are. It's like being discerning with what we take offense to, or like just self-awareness goes such a holla shazam long way. Holding space for ourselves, paying attention and present, rather than like reactive and all-knowing. Oh my lovers. Scorpio, you guys are so freaking awesome. Super sexalicious. The scorpionic energy to me is a deep and yeah, just sort of like a sexy energy. The root chakra. That's the healing of the root. And let's get divine guidance, love, and clarity. Some final messages for my for my Scorpio lovers. Divine guidance and love and clarity. Ha! As I'm talking about hala hala sexy. Sexy. Because Scorpio is about sex and rebirth, right? There is a depth. And then there's Tantra energy. So for some of you, there could be interesting actually, because I'm getting for some of you, there's like, say you're single. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Single or partnered, there's some sort of sexual alchemy that has a potential for healing. But the Tantra energy has a lot to do with us as individuals balancing our energies. But I also get that for those of you that are sexual, say, or like you really vibrate with the sex, with the sex energy. Because the booty card is making me think of like the booty. No, not that kind of booty. You see? Booty, not booty, the booty card. I don't know. There's something like, if you guys are going through or have gone through some sort of spiritual awakening, it's almost like there's a recognition for you that your sexual energy is spiritual as well, and that you want to be bringing more like sacredness or more spiritual connection into your sex life. Which is why maybe you're taking a space from a certain partner, or you just simply know this isn't going to work for me because there's a certain something missing with regards to the sexual alchemy of the relationship. It's like smell. I kind of feel this vibratory with, like, in our culture we mask so much, right? And I think of those, the pheromones and how subtle, how much more subtle our senses are than what we might originally think. And so, we wear these smells and we cover up our armpit smells and all that. And realizing that that's part, I think, of like desensitization, as in even our so-called like gross smells, with the right people, they're not gross. Imagine that. Like, imagine like the but then liking, like, that's what I'm talking about. Chemistry. And if we're masked, we can't smell each other in the way that is more natural, thus connected, thus like this person is more in alignment with me, or this person's chemistry isn't gonna fuck me up, kind of thing, because we're not actually. There's so many layers to it. Either way, this makes sense to me for the scorpionic energy, that some of you just might be focusing like more on yourself, more on the opportunities that you're generating and creating. You're either taking a break from a love partnership or distancing yourself or having a proper breakup because you're changing quickly. As in, your frequencies are changing. Who you used to be, that's no longer. What you used to want, that's no longer. And now you're coming into your own, just creating opportunity and stability. Because it could be that, again, there's some sort of spiritual alchemy or like spiritual work connected to your sexual energy. It might just be that you like, I think this is about a deeper questioning as well. Not just, because I don't know, obviously this is, but there's something about you going deeper with regards to your perspective of sex or your relationship to sex and sexuality or sex energy as a creative force. And then I think that's the point, is that finding another human that is in alignment, and that there's the attraction, etc., that then you both can work on the tantric energy within you. So both of you are invoking the sex energy as a creative potential for manifestation together. That's that. I mean, we talk about it on a biological level of procreation, recreation, procreation. Mommy and daddy make baby, you know. So we talk about people falling in love and creating life on that biological level, but to me it's so much more and bigger and deeper, and all there is in that regard is that the womb of creation, where we seed all intent, and that's the same as sex energy. As far as like whether or not there's going to be a baby actually conceived, people coming together in love, and then especially if there's that sexual charge, all you need is that one other person to make your potent creative manifestation ability that twofold, like double it. And that to me is part of the teachings really of the Christ, and this sort of newfound recognition of him having a partnership with Mary Magdalene. Together they were more potent. Although she, in the Magdalene manuscript, she does say that we can all do all this alchemy on our own. We can charge our sexual energy. We can alchemize via the awareness of the heart. It's just that when we find that regenesis state, i.e. the Christ within, and then we find it with other, it's that much more potent. As in, one enlightened being super potent, two together, bosh, expand it a bajillion times over, versus the three-dimensional perspective, which propagates codependency and narcissistic abuse within, because we're not connected, right? We're constantly blaming one another to avoid the shadow, not realizing that projection is the shadow. Yeah, so I think you guys are just going through some changes, and I think navigating a sense of rebirth or regrowth. So it's like going slow to figure out what you want, what feels good for you, what's in alignment with you, having the boldness to walk away from whatever isn't working, because if we stay where we're not meant to be, or we stay with the wrong people, it's not going to get easier anytime soon, right? Divine guidance. What are the final messages for my Scorpio lovers? Change. Change. Look after yourself, Scorpio. Change is here. I'll be interested to know if that resonates with any of you guys. Let me know in the comments. I am going to close her down. Thank you for listening. Thanks for subscribing, for sharing and liking. Really, really appreciate all of you and all of your support. I hope you have a great month of July. I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace out.